What's up, warriors? It's LeeAnna here with Chronic Inspiration. This video, I will be talking about fibrofog, brain fog, fiber fog, whatever you want to call it. See, just happened. It's a very, very common thing, I think, that happens with medication and with also having any type of autoimmune or chronic illness. You just get this, like, I describe it as coming up against like this brown wall of mud because I can't get through it. I can't get around it. I can't climb over it because it just keeps pushing down and I can't get through it. And it leaves me, I've actually developed a stutter that it doesn't come out all the time, but every once in a while, if I'm trying to say more than I can physically say, my voice will just like, my jaw hangs there for a second, like that. That's what it does. It's very weird, and it's weird to have developed that in my late 40s. That's one of the things I think that's weird about it. Brain fog it's not fun. None of this stuff with chronic inspiration is fun. I wouldn't have picked it. But it is what it is. And what I can do with it is just try and help other people. So I want you to pay this forward. Tell somebody that they are doing good and that you appreciate them. That's what we want to hear, is that we're doing okay, we're doing good.
It's more of an observation than an approval. There is a slight difference. 3 of us in my family tend to do it to each other all the time. We try not to, though. Yeah, there is a big difference between, hey, you're doing good, you got this, keep going. The keep going thing just kills me, because encouraging someone to go to the next level is one thing, but it's another thing when that person struggled so hard to get to the level that they're at, and then whoever is telling them the compliment or saying, hey, you got this, I believe in you, you've got it. When they say keep going, or now do the next one, or now do this, the now thing, telling somebody that's great, but let's do more, that doesn't work very well with people with chronic illness. Or maybe it doesn't work for anybody well that is filming this video, because to me, I hear it. I want somebody to be satisfied with what I did, then make it a totally separate sentence to encourage me to do something else. Make up 2 separate things. Don't combine them together, because I may have tried like hell, and I want to celebrate that victory. I want to celebrate it, and I don't want to lose that moment. And to automatically think that somebody's expecting me to do something else now, and I just did that, damn it. That's hard. That's just hard to do. And I hope I've explained it correctly. Correctly. I hope I've explained it, okay. But back to the brain fog.
It's really hard. I never realized, I mean, I've been told, I realized, whatever, mental, working with your brain is, brain food, and it uses energy and all that stuff. I've never actually felt it myself until doing these videos and working on a video and editing it and working on graphics and doing all of that stuff. That takes brain power. I will all of a sudden I could be sitting in my room working for hours, and all of a sudden, boom, I hit a wall and I'm done. Mental energy is exhausting. And I think that part of that is the condition that we have, the medicine we're on, and the brain fog, the fibro fog is all tied up into that, and the mental energy. Everything is tied up in one another. It's all like a big ball of knots, that you just can't, a big bunch of knots you can't get through. I can't explain it anymore. It's not really explainable to somebody that doesn't have chronic illness or chronic pain. If you've got chronic pain or chronic condition, you know what I'm talking about. But then there's this flip side that goes on in my head. It's like, because it's very hard for me to keep my train of thought. I've always been like somebody that's been like, oh, squirrel, you know, I've always been that type of person. So it's very hard to keep on track anyway. But now the brain fog, what has happened cognitively in my brain, there are things that I used to be able to work on without thinking basically about it on a computer, used to be able to do, and I can't do them anymore. I can't do the cognitive processing, and my brain doesn't have the ability to take it from one thing to another thing. I can understand the two parts separately, but I can't put them together, even when I know that they go together. It's not like saying, you know, you got the math problem wrong because you thought it was something else. No, I know that that's what it is. It's just that I can't put the two together. They won't go together in my brain, whereas it's something that I would have not had to think about before. Losing that type of, like, I lost half my strength. I lost half my brain power. You know, and here's something that I have struggled with, that with the brain fog, there's blessings and curses that come with it. One thing with the brain fog that happens is I don't have a very good memory. So I don't have a very good memory at all. And it's impossible, I have found, to write down the huge number of things that I would need to write down to remember everything that I would need to remember to go on. So I've had to accept, hey, I'm not going to remember anything. I can have complete conversations with somebody and not remember them. I cannot remember the last time I talked to a person, if we were on good terms or not. The last time that I did anything, you know, like I totally blocked out one time. This was long ago, though. I didn't have fibro fog to blame. Well, maybe I did. See, I don't know. But I blocked out Mom and Sarah and I going to see Phantom of the Opera. I mean, I blocked out the whole thing. And then when we were talking about it the one time, this was years ago, but when we were talking about it, then and I was reminded of it. I said, now, wait a minute. Didn't I wear this dress? I kind of remember walking in the parking garage, but I don't remember the opera at all, or the, whatever it's called. If it's it's an opera. I don't remember it at all. To be honest, I can't even tell you what the storyline to Phantom of the Opera is about. I don't know the storyline, and I've seen the damn opera. So, yeah. So anyway, there's cons and there's pros to having a bad memory. Another, it's a pro and a con. A pro is that I pretty much I know that I forgot a lot of good times, but I forgot a lot of bad times as well, which leaves good times open in my brain. And the con of that is I am so not aware. I know that as I'm going through life, I'm going to be forgetting a lot of stuff. So therefore, what happens is time seemingly seems to go faster for me because it's just whipping by, because there's not enough content in my brain to fill it, and it just whizzes right by those blank areas. Even though they're not blank, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then there's this. This is what happens. See, I'm divorced. I have no children. I have all the time in the world to think about things. Now, I don't sit and purposely think about things. Matter of fact, whenever I do purposely sit down to think or reflect on anything, I come up with a big, huge blank, because I can't pull things up like that and have like these light bulb moments anymore. Whenever I have one, I'm practically running around the house. Well, if I could run anymore, but you know, jumping up and down with excitement, because I had a brain, epiphany. And I've had a couple, and my mom can attest to the fact that when it happens, it's like a big exciting moment for me, because I just don't have those moments anymore. Not hardly ever at all. But the type of person I am an analytic person. Okay, I was an analytic person. Now I am more of a just don't have anything else to do with her time person. even though I watch a lot of TV, I actually, you know, I was going to say I read, but I actually can't keep my attention on in a book. I will try it again, but I end up I'm too fidgety, and I spend a lot of time on the computer, but I end up watching webinars and things like that, and I take notes. And I mentioned in another video earlier on that I have watched a video before, and this was recent, and this was very scary. It was very weird. I watched a YouTube video that I wanted to take notes on. After I started watching it, I was like, ooh, I want to take notes on this. And then I'm watching it, and I'm taking the notes, and I'm going, I had deja vu. I think I've watched this before. Turned out, not only did I watch it, I took the same notes in the same places and said, and even noted down the same things the day before. The day before. Man, that was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. So sitting around, you know, when I do things like this, I didn't write out the script. I'm just talking off the cuff like I do. I have, you know, this ability to do this. Now, what happens is I end up contradicting myself a lot, and I end up going way off topic, like I have here, like I have now. However, all of this does have to do with the brain, and that's my whole point, is the brain fog and, you know, all that stuff is real. So if somebody says to you, oh, it's just getting old, I do that too, it's different. It's very different. It's like trying to think every day with you know how, like, if you had to see every day and you had to look through rain all the time, and like all the time, it becomes like exhausting. Or if you're trying to watch through the snow or drive in the rain or the snow, and you're like, I can barely make it out. That's what this is like. It's brain snow and it's brain rain. And you're just trying to think your way. You're just trying to get through it, and you can almost do it, but you know that it's safer to stop. But you know that it's really hard to see through it. And yeah, it's now, granted, okay, let me just put this in there too. I'm not a doctor, not a medical professional. My personal experiences as well. I watched a video recently where this girl is talking about how she's not going to talk about her fibromyalgia except in one or two videos. And she's only made, like, I want to say 20 videos, not too far off from me. And she said that I have fibromyalgia, but it's not the only thing I could talk about. And my advice to you is don't let it be the only thing that you talk about. And she said, you were a person before you got fibromyalgia and you had things to talk about. Well, here's what I say to you. One of the things that might be happening is you're simply forgetting everything else that you already knew. Like I can't think sometimes of things that I like to do. Now, I do remember other things. I do remember some things, like the computer. I like planning in my planner, which I like doing that way before it became a thing, okay? I want to go in a camper, cross country, take, a year to do it, and just go here, go there, go different lots, meet different people, meet people that are regulars that go there the same time of the year, same, and do things like that. There's tons of things ton of places I want to travel to. And I do like to read books, and I love the TV series Supernatural. Matter of fact, I have been watching the series. I run through it, and then I run through it again, and then again and again, and I've been watching it over and over again since last summer for about a year. Now, the only time that I've not watched it is when I have flipped over to Hallmark to watch Christmas movies or their seasonal movies throughout the year. But because we had Christmas in July that they always run every year, but because we had COVID, they didn't have a lot of new stuff to put on afterwards. So they're still playing Christmas movies now, few and far between, but they're in there. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the app, or the TV. It's the app, yeah. Philo or Philo. I call it Philo, Philo. It is, you get it, you go through the internet, go to Philo. I'll tell you here in a second. I'm going to give you a referral link. And so if you go there and you decide to subscribe, you'll earn a $5 credit, and I get a $5 credit as well. And I'm going to put that link below in the description, but it's philo.com/refer/ and then there's a code. So I will put that down in the description box below. So yeah, so I love that. The thing about this online TV program, they have both Hallmark channels, and actually they have all three. They have Hallmark drama as well, or Hallmark Now, I think. I don't know. But I pay $17 a month for it. It's on the internet. It's made for mobile devices, and so what I watch it on is my Roku, and before that on my Fire Stick. And it has, like I said, Hallmark. It also has like Discovery ID, which is all the true crime crap. It's got HGTV, which is great when you want a little break. Does not have networks. Regular TV networks. Does not have TNT. It does have Lifetime. There's a lot of channels they have that it has, and a lot of channels they don't, that are mainstream. What I was going to say was, the thing about them is you get a free online DVR, virtual DVR. You can record as much as you want, but it will only stay saved for 30 days. Once the 30 days is up, then the placeholder will stay there. And it moves it into a more recent stuff goes at the top. So it's like a bucket that just keeps piling on top of each other. So if you go down to the bottom to where your faded stuff is, you can see the very next clear video, or not faded video, that is going to be, that's next in line, right next to the last faded video. That one's going to be the first one that fades and goes off. So that one that's closest to being expired. But the placeholder will stay there. So every time that movie or show is on, it will grab it. So it's pretty cool. So it's like I have all the Aurora Teagarden movies, and what's some other ones? I have, they play Twilight. So I've got all the Twilight movies are on there too. They have the channel that plays them all the time, a couple times a year. And so that I just have them sitting in there, and then whenever they're aired, they pop back up at the top, and I know that I've got 30 days then to watch them again. It's really cool. I mean, I absolutely love it, and I'm going to start referring it to everybody. I mean, I wish they had a better affiliation program or something like that. So, but yeah, you should go to their website and check it out. And like I said, I'll put that link below in the description box. It's really fun. I love it. And like I said, it's pretty cheap. My mom and I, we watched GH together, and although we couldn't, it wasn't on during COVID, and then since it's been on a couple of weeks, Mom and I haven't really even been in the mood to watch it. Well, I don't know about her. I haven't been. Oh, excuse me. All I can think about is, Supernatural did not end in May like it was supposed to. They had two more episodes to film, and they have 7 that are left to air. So we will get to see 7 when they come back on in they normally come back on October. Well, what had happened was, when they were supposed to be finished and off the air, they couldn't because of COVID. And they film in Vancouver, so it's not like they could just, you know, be real close to California or whatever and keep filming or whatever. They live all the way in Texas, both the stars do. And so they decided to just put everything on hold. They had to. And so they were supposed to be gone, like I said. They were done in May. And Jared Padalecki has a new show. He's coming out with a reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger. And his show is new, coming on the CW, which is the same network. That's going to be, has Supernatural. So his Walker got pushed to January, which I don't even know if that's when it was supposed to be at the beginning or not, but it's in January, and they're coming back to do a season 15 part 2, which is ending out the series of Supernatural. They're coming with that in this fall. So I've just been consumed with watching the show over and over. They're all on Netflix, and I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. And I'll wrap this back into chronic inspiration and kind of wrap up the video. But when I was going through heart failure in 2017, I was basically bedridden. Apparently, I was a lot sicker than I knew of at the time. I could have died at any time. I could have went into cardiac arrest. And I had just had two knee replacements, and I had a bad fall. And then the couple months after the fall, or after I was healed from the fall, because I tore my quad, a couple of months after that is when they found the heart failure. Medicine alone wouldn't get it stronger. Cardiac rehab wouldn't make it stronger. I had to wear a life vest, which was it's a wraparound defibrillator, and it's on a battery pack. And so if I would have went into cardiac arrest, it would have shocked me. But or they have alarms that go off on it before it shocks me. But none of that worked until I finally got a pacemaker in October of 2017. So most of you probably know this story, but for those that are new, that's what it took to get me out of heart failure. And now my heart is normal. It's beating at normal. It's pumping at normal. But they had to put a pacemaker internal defibrillator inside me. So if I were to go into cardiac arrest now, then I would be shocked from the inside. So that's kind of weird knowing that. But while I was going through all of this in 2017, they were, I don't know what season they were on, but let's see, finishing up in 2017, finishing up in they were finished, they were in season 13. They had finished up in May of 2017, and we're starting season 14 in fall of 2017. But during that year, I watched that show, and that show and this British show, Agatha Raisin, which I just absolutely love. And the seasons are way too far apart, and the seasons are too short too. I really, really don't like that about British television, but it's good. It's enough just listen to the accents. It's so funny. But that show and a couple of others are what really kind of got me through as far as like escaping my own little world and what the situation I was in. So if you think, well, that's just still not enough, why would she really love the show that much? Well, here's the thing. When the two stars met at the beginning, they were the only two to show up for the audition. They actually found out they were both from Texas. Okay. They're only like 3 years apart in age. And they're apparently as big a goofball as one is as the other is. They love to play pranks. and they became best friends. I mean, they call themselves brothers. They just, you know, they love it. They met their wives. Well, let's see, Jensen met his wife at a movie that he did prior to Supernatural, but Jared met his wife on the show. She was an actress on the show. They each of them has 3 kids. Jensen has a girl and then twins, a boy and a girl. And Jared has a boy and then another boy and then a girl. So they could feasibly all be matched up. It's weird. But anyway, they became just a big family. And one of the things that happened during this is Jared Padalecki had just come off the heels of Gilmore Girls, and he was just really wanting to stretch his legs and everything with his acting. But what actually also came out of it was about him having depression and anxiety. And so what they did, and this was about the time that the conventions really just hit the mainstream as far as like different TV shows themselves having their own conventions, and a convention being like for books and for different stuff. So they were doing conventions. They were doing them all through the year, all around the world. They built this fandom, multilingual, national fandom, all age groups. And I was never able to go to a convention because they're really expensive. But it's a 3-day long convention with a music concert. They have a band that some of the actors, some of the people in the band were actors on the show. I mean, it's just, it's turned into like this big thing that would be a production had it not come from within and bloomed from within itself. If it was given life, wouldn't have been given life from the outside and created. It created from inside. It created from Jared and Jensen being friends and having this mutual admiration and respect for one another. And that started going. And there were 2 other best friend / brother friendships that were made. So there were 6 of them all together that they each paired up. But it's just really funny because the love that they were able to put out for the fandom was what they received from the fandom. And they were always telling this. And it was just, it really got me through because I really was able to let that love into my heart, and just to really, it just kind of kept me going. So to be perfectly clear, it's not the TV show. It was the people and watching all the YouTube videos and all that stuff. I mean, it was absolutely just amazing. And so, I mean, and they're not bad to look at either, you know. I hate nighttime. I love nighttime, but I hate nighttime. I get insomnia, but then I make myself stay awake to the point of exhaustion. I get panicky before I go to sleep. I want to fight it, just like I always did when I was a kid. Now, for some reason, tonight, I don't want to put this camera down. It's going on 33 minutes, and I've just been blabbering on like an idiot. I don't know. I guess I'm done. So do me a favor. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. This bell right here. And, you know, shit, I did it the wrong way. I did this video portrait instead of landscape orientation. Anyway, I may have to re-record this. If not, thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you soon. This is LeeAnna with Chronic Inspiration, signing off.